In this lesson, we're going to take a look at how to create a simple 2D top and side view, and we're going to print the Dragster design to a proper scale. So let's get started. I have already logged into Schoology, and I'm in the folder that says Designing a Dragster. I've already gone through the design rules, and now I am in creating a 2D cutting template. So when you go down to here, you're going to see an example of what this should look like. So we're just going to create a very basic quick drawing with a top view and a side view. And the first thing we're going to do is right click and download this template. This is an SKP file, which is short for Sketchup. We save target as, and I am in Google Chrome, by the way, because that is my preferred and what I recommend to you using for a web browser. I'm going to go ahead and save this under the same name, Dragster blank template, in the downloads file. It's going to ask me if I want to replace it because I've already downloaded it. I'm going to say yes. And then you'll notice it's downloading it down here into the bottom bar of the page. I click on that and it knows I want to use SketchUp, so I say start using SketchUp, and it should pull up something like this. All right, going to hit ignore on this little pop-up. So what I have here is a height and length, and then I have a width and a length. So you don't have to do this, but if you have these sidebars over here, which if you don't have it, if you right-click up here, there's two tools that you want to have. One is large tool set, so I'm going to click left on that one, and you'll see it disappears. And then the other one is this views. So right-click and views, and you can see that that is going to disappear. So right-click again, large tool set with the left click, it's on. And then again with the views, and then that's there. So that way, if I use my orbit tool and accidentally hit it, I'm thinking, oh no, I'm off sync here. I can simply hit this little house button front, and I'm back in view, and then I'm going to go ahead and use the zoom extents button to get an auto zoom in here. All right, so again, you don't have to do this part, but I'm going to quickly dimension this just to show you. I'm going to click on here. Whoops. Let's try that again. I'm going to click from here, click again, and I'm going to click over. And I'm going to do it one more time here. Click there and click there. Now, I do change these rules from time to time, but this particular car is 1 1/4 inch tall, so this is the side view, and 1 1/8 inch wide. So it's only an 1/8 of an inch difference. Sometimes I change those rules, but basically that's what we're typically working with a block. So I'm just going to delete those, and those are gone. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here with the zoom extents. You're going to see me using that a lot. And I'm going to use my line tool. I'm going to hit L for line, and you see I have a shortcut in there. Now, some people, a spacebar will take that off. So again, L for line tool, spacebar takes it off to the selection tool. Some people will tell me that it doesn't actually work when they hit the shortcuts. I have a fix for that. We go up to Window, we go to Preferences. We're going to go into Shortcuts, and we're going to hit the Reset All button. And what that'll do when we click OK is reset, or click OK, it's going to reset everything. So the line tool is L, A is the arc tool. And you can see they're up here. Arc tool is A, L is line tool. So spacebar brings us back to selection. So I'm going to hit L for line, and I'm going to quickly just draw a couple lines here. Now, my line tool is still active, so if I hit the spacebar, it's gone. I'm going to zoom in using my mouse wheel, and what's neat about this is if I want to zoom in anywhere on my page or on my car, I can just move my mouse wheel and it's going to zoom in there. And if I quickly want to get back to the full view, I hit zoom extents, and there we go. So I'm going to hit another line tool, zoom in here, and I'm going to go like that. Spacebar again, you see I've got crosshairs. I'm going to put another axle hole here. Again, spacebar. Line tool L. Click and click again. Spacebar will take it off. And now I have two nice little crosshairs. So those are going to be my drilling points when I drill the axle. Hit line tool again. Click once, move this up, and notice that it gets crooked when I move it around, but if I get it just in the right spot, it snaps to that straight 90-degree line. Same thing here, snaps to that blue, and I get that. Spacebar takes us to Selection Tool. I click on that and get rid of that middle part. So now I've got not only the lines or the axle points where I'm going to drill, I've got the line where it's going to come in the front or the top view. All right, so now let's go ahead and make some quick drawings. So I'm going to go ahead and show you in Schoology. I use my Alt-Tab here. I'm going to draw something like this. So I've got a cutout here, a cutout there, cutouts here, a little bit back there, and then the same thing in these parts. So we'll do this very quickly. Of course, I'm not going to expect that you do this that quickly. A for arc. And the arc tool works as just what it says, an arc tool. So I went ahead and selected one point and then a second, and then I want to zoom in, and I can select how that's going to look. I can go up, I can go down, but I don't want to go out here like that because obviously that's going to be outside the block. So Control Z, as in zebra, is your best friend here. Again, arc tool. There's that. We click again. I'm going to do another arc tool here, and I'm going to bring this down like that. I'm going to do one here. So I'm just making a series of different contours. All right. Now I have to be careful I don't get too close to here. Now this says number of segments is too large for the radius. That just means that it can't draw when I'm trying to tell it to draw. So I'm going to bring this up like that. Now that's not excellent aerodynamics, but I'm going to just draw a sample here just for the heck of it. All right, so that's a little bit crooked, but that's okay. All right, so again, I'm going to go to the top view, and I'm just doing a series. Click once, click again, click once to anchor it, click to the end of it. And you want to make sure these are symmetric. So if you kind of turn your head sideways, you want to make sure that they're not looking like this. So let me show you a quick example of what doesn't look good. So you see how I'm making that very uneven. If I click spacebar, click that, and get rid of it. A for arc again. If I go like this and go like that, you can see how that's very uneven. Well, we don't want that. So Control Z. I'm going to go here, here, and then there. Now, in another video, I'm going to show you how to do the measurements. So again, arc. Okay, I'm almost done here. I'm going to go one more right to the center there. And then click on this. And notice how it says tangent to edge. It kind of turns light blue there. That means it's just touching that in one spot. And that's what we want. Okay, so we are almost there. Now I'm going to fill this in with some color. I'm going to hit the paint bucket tool. And if you're not already there, you should have the colors that are brought up. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to get a dark gray. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And I'm just going to fill in with dark gray. You want to stay away from black because, whoops, I don't want that one. Control Z. I'm going to fill in all of the different spots that I'm going to cut out. So now I can really see what my car is going to look like. Whoops. All right, just like that. Now, quickly I'm going to put a text box in here. I'm going to put in Miller. Hour 1, we'll say. And we'll hit the space bar and click over here. All right, I'm going to hit the M tool for move, and then I'm going to hit the control button, and I'm going to click and do it again. Let me do that again for you. So Control Z undoes it. Spacebar brings up that. I'm going to click it once. I'm going to click on the M button, which is move right here. I'm going to hit the control button one time. Now I've got a little plus sign. Click once. I'm not holding it down, and then I click again, and we're good. All right, so now I have a car drawn. Now, I'll notice here that I was careful not to draw too close to that hole either, because that's an empty spot for where the tube goes in to fire the car down the track. Now, let's talk about printing. When I go to print, it's pretty easy. First of all, I have to make sure I am not in some weird view like this. I want to be zoom extends, so I have to have all of my other lines gone, and I have to click that. That's the view I want. So I'm going to go to File, Print Setup. I'm going to make sure that my print setup says not portrait but landscape. Click OK. Now I'm going to go to File, Print Preview, and you'll notice there's some different settings here. There's a lot of them. A lot of times it'll say use model extents. Maybe this is unchecked. What you want to do is you want to say fit to page, uncheck use model extents, and the most important numbers are right here. 1 in the printout and as close to 1 as possible. What's going to end up happening is you're going to end up having 0.98 or 0.99, which is really close to 1. That'll be fine. Click OK, and this is what you should see for your print. You go ahead and hit print, and then you will get a printout, and you turn it in and have that checked in. So again, this is the process of how we design our car, print it, and you should be good to go. There's one thing that I want to make sure we understand. The zoom in and zoom out, again, is the scroll of the mouse wheel. And then if I want to pan around, I hold down the Shift key, not Control but Shift. You can see that little plus minus sign comes up, and then I press the mouse wheel down, not the button, but the mouse wheel, and it turns into a little hand which pans this around. So again, hold down Shift, press the mouse wheel, and it pans it around, and we'll get back here to get to our kind of home look at that.